Hi, I'm Dave Barry. I want to welcome all you SGNA people to Miami. Those of you who are not from Miami, especially want to welcome you. I live here. I moved here in 1986 from the United States. I think it's a great city. A lot of people have heard a lot of bad things about Miami, and I'm a defender, a big defender. And we just want to say, whatever you've heard, a lot of people have heard bad things about it. We have a new attitude down here, a new tourism promotion slogan, come back to Miami. We weren't shooting at you. So anyway, the reason I'm speaking to this group is I had a while ago a colonoscopy administered by Andy Sable, my good friend, Dr. Andrew Sable. And I wrote a column about it, and got quite a bit of attention on the internet and elsewhere. And so I wanted to just talk a little bit about that experience. Then Andy and I are he's gonna sort of go over with me some of the details, some of the mechanical details of the colonoscopy experience. In my case, what happened was my brother Sam, who is 10 years younger than I am, sent me an email. This was maybe 2 years ago, and he said, I had a colonoscopy, they found cancer, they got it in the early stages, I think it's gonna be fine. The doctor did say to make sure that my siblings also had colonoscopies. So Sam said in his email to me, Dave, because you're older, I'm sure you've already had a colonoscopy. No, I had never had a colonoscopy. I had been told to get a colonoscopy many times, but I never actually did it. Now, first I want to clarify about Sam. He's fine. They caught it early because he was a responsible human being, unlike his brother. And they got it early and treated it, and he is all clean and clear, and things are good for Sam. I was very nervous when I got that email, both for my brother, but also thought that I now really would have to get a colonoscopy, which I was terrified about. And a lot of people are, and I'm sure that in your profession you deal with this constantly. But it's true. You're terrified because and this was my fear, I'll be really honest. I was afraid that Andy was going to take a tube and stick it 17,000 feet up my butt.
Almost.
And that's what he did. It turns out that's exactly what he does in the colonoscopy. But fortunately, and here's the good part for me, drugs. They give you the really, what was that drug?
Propofol.
And we've been doing it every night since. No, just kidding. That would be wrong. And we wouldn't do that. It's like every weekend night. No, we don't do it. Just the one time. Boy, was it great. And I loved it. I thought when we were done, I thought, let's do that again. You know, it was great. The only thing is, a couple things I learned. First of all, and you may not remember this, but I remember it vividly. Just when they were putting me under, okay, so I'm lying there, I'm wearing practically nothing. They're wearing that thing they give you in the hospital that makes you, it's like more naked than being naked, that thing they give you. And I don't know why they do that. Well, the gown. Yeah, why don't you have to wear a gown? You know?
Nice day, make the doctors walk around again.
Yes, no, that'd be awful. But just as I was being put under, and Andy's standing there with the thing, which we'll get to in a minute, the thing, or whatever it was, they were playing music on the PA system, which I guess was supposed to relax me, and I don't know who chose the music, but the song that came on as I was going under was Dancing Queen. This is not the song you want to hear when you're almost naked on the table, helpless, and a man is coming at you with a tube. That's all I have to say. The non-ABBA version. The other thing I really was not prepared for is the preparation. Andy told me that I had to drink this thing called movie prep, which was, it tastes kind of like, well, I've never actually drunk out of a urinal, but I think this is what it would taste. It's not a pleasant thing, and you have to drink about, 18 gallons of it.
Something like that.
You just can drink it. And it's as you know, a nuclear laxative. It is so powerful that your bowels travel into the future and you expel food you have not even eaten yet. Okay? So that part I would, like, you need a seatbelt to hold you down on the toilet. You're like the space shuttle there on the toilet. So I wasn't ready for that. But other than that, the procedure itself was great, and everyone should get one. I've been a sort of out there proselytizing on behalf of colonoscopies ever since. In fact, ever since I wrote that article, people come up to me. I'll get on a plane, and somebody will like 8 rows away will yell, "Dave, I got a colonoscopy," and I'm feeling, why is he yelling that too? So I'm kind of like the people want to tell me their colonoscopy stories. They're all the same story,
pretty much.
Which is everybody's asleep when it happens.
Right.
And then there's when you wake up, the farting.
It's musical.
Yeah.
In the recovery room.
I've never been in a room with that many grown-ups farting. Well, that you could tell, that you could hear like.
And then it's accepted.
Yeah, they're rising up
and encouraged.
Sheets billowing all over. Yeah, they say, go ahead, this is the fart room. You can fart away in here. So that's kind of cool. Anyway. So that was the experience. But anyway, I think a lot of people like me, we're a little confused by the technical stuff that goes into the whole colonoscopy. So I was going to ask you about some of the things that, like for example, this piece of equipment here. What medical purpose does this?
Well, actually, that's just been FDA approved, Dave, and I believe it's for when nurses get out of hand. It's fired at them to keep them in line.
No, that's our gag. That's our little prop gag. The rest of these things are real, and it makes me a little nervous that they are real. Okay.
Like it?
Wait. Oh, did I just mess up here? Okay.
We can't use that one anymore.
What is this, Andy?
This device is actually not used during colonoscopy. It's actually used during endoscopy.
What's the difference there?
Different ends. The endoscopy is up top, and the colonoscopy is down low.
That doesn't make sense because I always just assume, seriously, the endoscopy is your mouth?
Yeah, it doesn't have to do with the end, really. It's
why do
just
they?
The end.
Yeah. What is it with doctors? This is a question I have. Doctors in general do this. Whenever they're trying to get into one part of your body, they always go to some distant other part of your body.
Oh, it's like a big video game. It makes it much more fun.
Is it like,
Beeping in and out.
Sometimes I think like they're going to get to me by actually starting with another patient over there.
That's happened. I believe.
It probably has happened.
So in any event, this actually goes down through the mouth.
Not my mouth. It
not
doesn't.
your baby. Now, hopefully not.
That's a long.
And yes.
Well, then like, how does a person not go? When that
well, that's where propofol comes in.
Oh yeah.
Yes, it works very well. So what you would use this for actually is using a scope. If somebody had something they accidentally swallowed, or maybe even intentionally, people do it.
Just so they can get the
so they can get the special treatment.
Yeah.
Pennies. We've seen razor blades. Sometimes people get food stuck in their throat or their esophagus. And what this allows.
What is the worst thing you ever found in somebody's butt? And be honest. Or it doesn't even have to be you. It could be something you've heard of.
Oh, we've seen your garden variety sexual toys.
They just leave them up there?
They get stuck or they leave. We've seen batteries.
Batteries?
I have a friend who removed...
How do I get it? Like double A's, triple A's?
Don't recall the size.
Don't tell me.
What's the big one? The big square one?
It was not a 9 volt.
It was not a 9 volt.
Oh, man.
We have seen, of course, various worms, bugs.
Oh.
We have seen...
You've said personally encountered
worms.
Now, I would think that if you're going through, because I've seen that when you're going through, it's kind of like it looks bigger. It looks like a big...
It's very large.
When you see a worm, do you get a little nervous? Whoa!
It's a little shocking. It's a little shocking.
Yeah.
And one thing I know that was found once, which is a little peculiar, was a paperweight.
Well, I'll be honest. I never really understood why people need paperweights in the first because we have gravity already. I've never seen papers just floating around. So I think sticking one up your butt makes as much sense as having it on your desk.
Whatever floats your boat. But in any event, so we use this. So what happens is when this is in.
Notice how Andy keeps getting back to the technical.
Right.
That's why he's a professional.
So after you pass the scope,
no.
After the scope is passed through here, you then remove this, and it allows you to go in and out, which should be more like this, in and out multiple times into the esophagus or the stomach. One, without having to repass the scope through the patient's throat, which causes more trauma. And two, so anything you're pulling out can't go into the airway. So it's very important. If it goes into the airway, it could asphyxiate.
Okay.
So that's where this becomes very important.
Well, that's nice to know.
Yes.
I hope I never, ever have. Now, this is the one. This one makes me nervous because.
Yes.
Don't tell me you're sticking that down somebody's throat.
Oh, yes.
Because you might as well just start somewhere else. Did you really stick that down?
Yes, yeah. What this actually does is, I'm going to hold up the scope for a minute so you can see. I'll give you a second here. Yeah. This is actually, Dave, a colonoscope. And I'm going to let you hold your first one. Would you like to hold it?
Where is it been?
It was just in the other room. They just finished
really
using
clear.
it. No, this one's clean.
Okay.
So this is, you can actually see how it feels.
Yeah.
You can see.
I remember this.
Yeah, you do remember it, right?
No, it's
I
kind of
hit
a
it from
heavier
here. See now,
thing.
look at the end. Now hold up the end, and you can see how it maneuvers back and forth. And,
That's a little creepy.
well, the intestine is a little bizarre, so.
Let's pretend we're on the Asshole Show. Hello, Scopy. Hi, how are you, Dave? What?
There you go. Exactly.
That's
That's
very cool.
it. So yeah, this is an actually, as you know,
You're pretty good with
do you
that.
want to turn around or not?
No, I don't.
All right,
I don't
I'll do
want
that.
to.
But this goes up.
I know where.
Yes, you know that.
How far now? How
Yeah.
far in me did you insert this? This babe?
well,
I know, so you got like
You're about right.
Mark Twain.
Yeah, right. It actually, now this, many times, there will be times when the whole scope is in somebody, but generally speaking, when the scope is in its straightest portion, in other words, if it's going up and just making a few turns, usually get somewhere around 80 to 90 centimeters. And say about that much. But often you have to use the whole scope to get to the end. That's the way it is. So anyways, what we use with this...
What is it? Is there like a little sign?
Hey, there is.
The end.
There's your layout. Yes,
You're here. You're here.
You've made it. Congratulations. You ring a bell.
But so this... You say,
this actually is used when you go... this helps you advance the scope without what's called a
let's
loop.
show them. Let's show them. It's a fatter thing.
Well, it goes over the scope. It actually goes over the end of the scope. And as you...
and what is this? What is the deal with this thing here?
That's a little...
That was really
uncomfortable. Well, that's, again, propofol. But it's not as uncomfortable as it looks. But it helps keep the scope
You're basically
straight.
saying you can do anything you want to people once they're knocked out.
You know
That's
how
what you're saying.
Yeah,
You
that's
don't really,
pretty much it.
We're not humans to you
And
anymore at
we
that
can
point.
say anything or do anything.
We're just
That's right.
holes. We're orifices.
That's what it is. So we look for an orifice and we put that in.
Yeah.
And
Okay.
it basically keeps the scope straight and helps us get to the end a little bit easier.
When you say the end, what end?
Well, there's different ends, but if you're doing a colonoscopy, the end is actually physiologically the beginning of the colon, where the small intestine and the colon meet.
Okay.
There's an area called the cecum.
Oh, okay. Yeah. All right.
That's the actual medical name. So that's that.
Now, I don't know if we're taking this in the right order.
Well, it doesn't really
But
matter. There's no
this
particular
does not
order.
look... Can I open this? Will I get in trouble?
Sure.
Yeah, I can open it. Okay.
Not on camera, at least. You won't get in trouble.
Yeah. Because this, to me, looks like... Are you familiar with the term... I can't...
This is why we have nurses, Dave, to help you with that.
Yeah. They're strong. This is like... That does not look medical to me. That looks...
It's an old device. It's an old device.
I don't even want to be touching that too much. What the heck is that?
Well, basically, this is for helping us to examine hemorrhoids. And use this without a camera. And actually, as you look into what would be the rectum, and as you pull that out, you can use a hemorrhoidal gun to band hemorrhoids, to treat hemorrhoids, which is...
I don't get... What?
This is the gun. Now, if you can imagine, as you pull... As you pull this out, the hemorrhoids fall into place, and you put that through here.
Look out! You can actually
do need a license for that.
give people hemorrhoids with this gun. You put it in reverse. That, boy, you could make a lot of money at a convenience store.
You probably that's right.
Yeah.
Yes. In any event,
A hemorrhoid gun. That really, to me, that's...
It's a band. It's actually called a bander.
Well, I'm going to call it a hemorrhoid gun if you don't mind.
You know what it's called? A short shot. Yeah, exactly. Exactly. So that's your short shot. This is for your hemorrhoid.
This, like when you say it bands...
That actually will deploy around a hemorrhoid, a little band, and it strangulates the hemorrhoid.
It deploys around the hemorrhoid. Right. All right, we're going to deploy around. Yep, that's good. That's exciting.
Pretty much how it goes. Yeah, so that's that.
And were you a normal child? I mean,
well,
at some point did you just say, you know what I'd like to do when I grow up? What happened there? What the heck happened,
interesting.
Andy?
well, something went wrong, but someone's got to do it.
Well, I would think that would be the guys that go into the gynecology guys are like.
Well, they have that too.
No, I don't want to hear. I don't want to hear about that. And here we have. Get more. There's a lot of just tubes things here.
Yeah, well, see this here.
Try to keep it not boring now, because these look kind of boring to me.
They
look like they're not that exciting.
This is what we would use. For instance, if you have a polyp or a biopsy you want to take, which is taking a piece of tissue, and again,
let me ask: is this the thing that goes up somebody's butt again?
This goes through the camera and then through the colonoscope, and then helps us remove things. For instance, worms.
Really? You
Yes.
could wrangle a worm?
I have wrangled a worm with one of these and sent it to the lab.
What's the biggest worm you pulled out? Like here, over here we have like this one.
Yeah, here we pulled this out of a patient the other day. That worm right there.
Is that a tapeworm? Supposedly.
That is supposedly.
Have you ever seen a tapeworm?
I've never seen
the wild.
I haven't seen a tapeworm in a person.
What's the biggest worm you've wrangled?
Oh, they're usually small.
You were nothing to you. You were
nothing.
Hey,
I can take
it's
that
pretty
worm.
manly.
Worm guy. Just
Yeah.
like, all right, here we go. So basically, it's maybe hard to see this on camera, but this opens and closes.
Oh,
Can
yeah.
you see that?
I can.
Back?
I don't
You're
think,
okay?
well, I'm old, so I can put my
But basically,
no, I did see it do that.
But it just goes to show you how small things really are. But this allows
you
us
grab
but you
something.
grab something and pull it out. Some of these we can actually hook up to cautery or heat, so we can burn something inside.
Uh-huh.
And then we have little lassos. This is a little lasso right here. We can
Right.
open that and show you.
Okay. Oh my God, they've just, and it's all,
These all go through the camera, all through the colonoscope or the endoscope, and allow us to do several things. This is going to fall on the ground. Sorry.
$17,000
Yeah,
on your
about
bill.
that.
Because
At
I'm not going to
least-
open this
at
one.
least.
I'm just
Should I
looking
leave
at the
this one
price
closed?
tag
I can
here.
open it? Well, we'll open it just to be sure.
I'll see.
We'll add it.
There you go.
It's on your
What
bill.
the heck?
I'll add it to your bill. Here we go. So here, this.
Okay, I can see how this is going to
Yeah.
work.
So as you can imagine, you want to put your finger in there?
No.
Okay, but you can imagine. See that?
Look at
Open
that.
all the way. You know what? We could use some help here, right? He's pretty good at this. Now, what that does is that'll actually burn the polyp while it strangulates it and cuts it off.
Boy, you're hard on polyps.
Yeah,
around
that's
here,
right. That's what we do.
Okay.
Polyps
well, I
are our
assume-
business.
Yeah. Okay.
So we have various sort of things to use, and well, some of these get a little bit complicated here.
Now, you're going to tell me a little bit about the actual thing here.
Well,
No, this
oh,
thing.
this.
That's the-
Oh, yes. Okay. What this is actually this. Were it plugged in, then you would see the colon or whatever you're looking at through here and also through there. We always have two cameras.
He was actually watching porn
Yes.
during mine. But anyway, yeah.
Let me close the door.
Yeah.
But yeah, so we have the doctor usually uses this nice big screen here.
Oh, you got the big
We see
flat
it very
screen,
big end,
yeah.
right? And we use this as another screen for other people to look at the same time, and it's real.
Because
live
lots of
motion.
people would want to see
Well,
it.
it's
Yeah.
it's very exciting
I
stuff.
know, and mine showed up on YouTube a couple of days later, and it's getting a lot of hits.
That's right.
Well, anyway, I think that about covers my colon, and I just want to say that I know the doctors get all the glory and credit, but I think it's the nurses. It was the nurses who gave me the drugs.
That's true.
I think.
Very important.
I don't remember
We don't know who gave it. But that's the idea.
Well, those of us who are patients, we know who's really on our side. We know it's you guys, the nurses out there. So we thank you. Andy, thank you.
Thank you for coming,
I know
Dave.
we've learned a lot today, I think. Well, actually, if there's such a thing as continuing education,
This counts.
you are actually going to
At
lose
least.
credits for watching this video. So thank you. Thank you very much.